Hello, this is New Earth Angel, and I wanted to share with you a journal entry of mine that, you know, helped me to get through a difficult situation. And I wanted to share it just as I wrote it. And it's for someone who, you know, is going through something or just recently came through something and you're trying to figure out how you're going to move on from a hurtful place. And the best way to move from a hurtful place is to commit to forgiving. And I know it may seem hard, right at the very beginning to consider um, forgiving someone who has hurt you in some way or betrayed you. But the sooner you can get to a place where you can just commit to forgiving, that is going to start the healing process. And let's just, make it clear that forgiveness is not something that happens overnight. It is a process. And I found that even when I, committed to forgiving and I thought I had forgiven, it's not until something comes up and I realize that, hey, I'm still feeling some kind of way about what happened, about what took place. And all that is just saying that, um, there's still a root in there. And, you can forgive yourself as well because in any situation, you can also see, your own actions. How, in some cases, like, did you stay in a situation longer than you should have? Did you not use your voice to speak up for yourself? Or did you turn your head when you saw red flags, because it was just more comfortable to, accept what was going on because you were getting other benefits from the situation? Whatever the reason, you have to forgive yourself and forgive the other people or person who may have harmed you. And when you forgive, oh, it's a wonderful thing because it frees up energy, it frees up space that was, in the beginning, as I read it here, I wrote it down and said, forgiveness frees up space once used to house negative energy, and space is now available to facilitate light and love. So once you forgive, it's freeing up that negative energy that's bottled up that keeps, when you think about it, you go to a negative space. But when you start to forgive, it gives you a different perspective. It gives you an opportunity to let love and light enter that space where, pain and hurt once reside. And now, with that positive energy that's in you, you can vibrate higher. You can create a space where you can bring in more positivity in your life. Because what I found is that when I was in a negative space and complaining and telling negative stories, and although they may have been true, they wasn't benefiting me. At a point, after a point, they just was not benefiting me to move from that negative space. But as I began to replace that negativity with some positive thoughts and some positive energy about the situation, it allowed me to get to a place where I complained less, and I was able to attract people who weren't broken or hurting in the same way that I was. Because I had moved from that place. When it say misery loves company, it's really because the negative energy that you put out is bringing people with those same those same wounds. And when you're surrounded around people with the same wounds, and they're not healed and you're not healed, um, it creates a breeding ground for more negative energy. So in order for you to come up out of that negative space, you got to start thinking different. And how you do that is first when you come to a place of committing to forgive the situation, realizing that whatever you went through, it was a lesson in that. When you realize that there was a lesson to be learned in that, then you could take some time for yourself so you could sit and analyze the situation and see, well, what is the lesson that I learned in there, in that situation. And when you do that, you can see also, your own contributions to some of that pain. You have an opportunity to ask yourself questions about, why you remained in that situation or how that situation came about, or, you know, um, whatever the case. It helps you to take an opportunity to analyze it for yourself. And when you do that, it helps you also to prevent yourself from being in that situation again. So many times, uh, we experience pain and we look to um, run from it, or self-medicate, i.e. drinking, smoking, partying, whatever it is, overindulgence in sexual activities, whatever. These are just ways in which we try to numb ourselves from the pain. And the last thing we need to do is numb ourselves from the pain, just, through, little actions like I just mentioned. If you really want to, numb the pain, it's taking time to sit with yourself so that you can analyze the situation and see what really took place in that situation. That's how you get rid of the pain once and for all. Because if you're drinking or you hanging out or hiding from your problems, guess what? They're going to pop right back up because they never really went anywhere. You just you just pushed it to the side, but you didn't get rid of it. And so to get rid of it, first commit to forgiveness. And, also by forgiving, it puts you in a place of balance and harmony. There's no harmony in unforgiveness, because within yourself you in turmoil, and you got to give yourself permission to release the pain. You got to be ready to release the pain. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I had a I had gotten so deep in, in being angry in certain situations where I felt like I had been mistreated, and unjustly, but I had gotten so deep in that anger that it was affecting me. It wasn't affecting the person that did it to me. It was affecting me. And so when I took the time to analyze the situation, I could see my patterns. I could see how, I wasn't being in a place of harmony with myself, that I was out of balance. And the best way to get back into balance was to change my thoughts about the situation. And you just don't up and start thinking, different thoughts about a situation that was harmful to you. You get there by taking some time to be with yourself. You know, where you can look at a situation and once you get the lessons from it, that is what makes it easier for you to reframe it. That's what makes it easier for you to let it go. But it comes with getting a lesson, because then you see that it was all worth it, because on the other side of the lesson is strength. you know Now you have some strength. Now you have some wisdom that you gain from having gone through that situation. Was it painful? Yes, but as painful as it was, it's so much to be gained to make you a better person. And if you're here to, and you're able to hear my voice and watch this video, you're a survivor. You're here. That means you are a survivor. You are more than just a survivor. You're more than a conqueror, because you've conquered that situation. So the question is are you going to allow your mind to be, tethered to trauma? Or are you going to grab your lesson and your wisdom and use it as a shield? Use it as a strong, to show your strength. Use it as a weapon, to conquer whatever may come up in the future. That's what it's for. Take that lesson and put it in your toolbox. Now you got an extra tool, just like on the video games where, you go and along your path, you got somebody that stop and give you a little nugget of wisdom, or give you a secret weapon, or give you some tool with these special powers. That's what that's like. That's what that's like. Along this life journey, we're picking up these tools after we battle these dragons and these different entities, just like in a video game. As we slay the dragon, we get all these trinkets and we got all this special power, and we can do all these great things because of the wisdom. But we have to take the time to stop and think, hey, what did I just go through here? How did I get here? How can I prevent myself from being here again? Because we can't change people, but we can change our response to people. We can change our own actions. But if you don't take the time to sit with yourself, you don't even know what your actions are. It's like you're wandering around and things just happening to you. But I submit to you that we don't live in a world where things just have to just happen to you like you don't have any control. The control comes when you take time to look at you and to master you, get to know you. It was revealed to me, in the spirit, not to be complaining about what other people are doing. Even if they're doing it to me, figure out what moves I can make, what decisions I can make to remove myself from that situation. Because a lot of times we're putting ourselves in situations. We allowing ourselves to be in a position where we can be taken advantage of, or misled, or you know, whatever that might make us feel like we've been betrayed or taken advantage of. We are not in control of other people's actions, but we always have choices. And it's up to us to exercise those choices. So if you want to move from a place of pain and hurt, please consider committing to forgiveness and being patient with yourself. And first, loving yourself unconditionally. Because when you love yourself unconditionally and you begin to show yourself the love that you deserve, you won't allow anybody to just come in and tear you down. And you won't allow yourself to be in situations where you feel victimized. Even if it's an unfair business deal, step back and ask, what is the lesson here? You know, why is this happening right now? What is it I'm supposed to be doing? And give yourself a chance to, to hear the answers, because the answers are within you. All the answers we need, they're within us. But we have to take time to be with ourselves, and that's not something that we've really been taught to do. We've been taught to go, and to look for something outside of us to, rectify, you know, uh, any situations that we're going through, any problems that we're having. We're looking for something outside of us to, to take care of that. But we're equipped. All we have to do is start taking time for ourselves. It's okay to just slow down. And I'll say it 1,000 times and 1,000 times more. If you can get into nature, go for a walk, sit in your backyard, sit on a stoop, listen to the birds, and just pay attention to, the abundance of nature. Abundance is all around us. And I just want to say to you, don't let hurt or pain or trauma, steal and rob you of your life and of these precious moments, because what we have is right now. We have right now. Whatever happened in the past, it's in the past. And it can only hurt us if we allow it to continue to hurt us. And yes, we do need to acknowledge, the pain that we felt or suffered. I'm not saying, to negate, anything that happened or act like it didn't happen. I'm just saying it comes a time where when you're ready to heal, you have to know how to let it go. And letting it go is not just a one-time, confession of I'm letting it go. It takes time. So you be patient with yourself, but be committed. Be committed. And another thing I wanted to read out of my journal is think on things that make your heart feel light and brings a gentle smile to your face. Don't allow yourself to watch a lot of social media or a lot of news or being in conversations with people who are talking about negative stuff. Give yourself the opportunity to think on good things that bring you joy. Find something that you can put your time and effort into that brings you joy. It's like a reprogramming of your mind to move you from a negative space. And I wanted to also say, what helps to, get out some of that negative energy is pay attention to your breath. If you're shallow breathing, that means that you need to take some time to take some deep breaths. Take some deeper breaths from your belly. Breathe deep to your belly. Seem like a balloon, like it's gonna blow up real big. And then exhale, letting it just deflate, letting all that out. And you'll start to feel yourself, just allowing some negative energy to just flow out of you. Just by paying attention to your breath. And you don't have to change your breath at first. Just breathe and just, think about how you're breathing, and you'll be able to see your patterns in your breath. And that'll help, if you're feeling anxious in some kind of way, that's one way to really help yourself is to, to breathe. Slow, deep breaths. I love you so much. And I'm so happy to be able to share this with you. And I hope that it brings you some type of comfort to know that committing to forgiveness of yourself and of others is a beginning to your healing. Have a good night.